Welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 and the surprisingly successful Baltimore Beeholes. We have made the playoffs again, so super happy about that. Unfortunately, it will be in a wild card position, despite being tied for fourth for the best record in the majors. Only Atlanta, Cincinnati with 99 wins each, and Tampa Bay with 94 wins were able to beat us out. So if you look at our team position rankings, we are stacked. I mean, Griffin Conine, a little bit questionable in right field, but on balance, what a team. Our team chemistry is still content, which I continue to be impressed by. Our owner, Oldie But Goodie, is quite happy with us, although he does have some goals for us that we're not going to meet, like upgrading in right field. And he wants to push our attendance to 43,000 a game, which I don't know if that's quite realistic. I mean, we played really well and we got 41,000 attendance per game this year. So perhaps a little bit out of reach for us, but fan interest is still 97. Unfortunately, our fan loyalty is still somehow below average. Hopefully that comes around. We did have a lot of money that we weren't able to spend this year, but it looks like we are going to get a lot of money for extensions next year and hopefully a deep run in the playoffs to increase that revenue and hopefully pick up a dynamite free agent. So if we go to our lineups, into season, leading the way with 5.7 WAR, Jackson Holliday truly had his breakout year. 27 home runs, OPS plus of 118, 34 stolen bases. Didn't quite get that coveted 30-30 season, but he did quite well. And his defense must have been pretty sharp. Yeah. So he'll have a shot at a Gold Glove this year. Our other potential Gold Glove player, Brenton Doyle, put up another 3+ WAR season. His bat wasn't quite where it was last year. He was just almost a league average hitter, but a wonderful defender in center field. And so we're looking forward to those trophy cases filling up. Mason Wynn came over. I was super shocked to get him. Extremely happy to have him. He's one of the better shortstops in the league. And for us, he hit 284, OPS plus of 112. Very solid contributor on the team. Tristan Casas came over for us this year, played well. Henry Davis had a bit of a breakout season, putting up 3.3 WAR, hit by 16 pitches, which is his most notable statistic. But he did have an OPS plus of 131, and he is back up to a 3.5-star potential, which is great. Lars Nootbaar had a solid year. The only guys that really kind of stunk it up were Nathan Church in a backup outfielder role, and then Trey Sweeney. Unfortunately, still not developing how we want, but he's often our best choice as a backup. Griffin Conine, I'm happy he held his own. Right field is a very difficult spot for us. And if we can maybe even increase his outfield ratings somehow, I think he'll be fine. And I'm pretty happy that I got rid of Kyle Isbell in order to keep Griffin Conine. Let's do a quick little check-in. Find out what Kyle Isbell got up to this year. He played pretty good. You know, he had another year similar to what he had for us, only he played all season and probably, yeah, he was a solid defender. He might take that Gold Glove away from Brenton Doyle. Wouldn't that be ironic? Okay. And the breakout we had this year, in my opinion, was Casey Schmidt. Came up, hit 286, 238 plate appearances. Solid year for him. Zach Geloff came up and contributed right at the end of the year, which was nice. Corey Lee took a step back, but still was a positive WAR player, which is very cool. And Jorge Mateo, unexpectedly, put up 2.1 WAR for us and didn't play an entire season. So great job by Jorge Mateo. Unfortunately, our starting shortstop this year, Hechavarria, had to be designated for assignment because he just fell off. On the pitching side, if we sort by WAR, Logan Webb actually taking it down with 5.7 WAR. 3.15 ERA. Skubal actually had a 2.72 ERA, which is pretty nice. And kind of low strikeouts for Logan Webb. He was just getting a lot of weak contact this year, apparently. In terms of strikeouts, total strikeouts, Grayson Rodriguez led our team with 201. Skubal did miss about 50 innings, 60 innings with his injury, which was quite unfortunate, and it's going to keep him, it might even keep him from winning the ERA title. I didn't look that up just yet, but I didn't get a pop-up saying that he won the ERA crown, so it looks like he didn't qualify. Emmanuel Clase was quite a solid closer for us. He ended up with 46 saves, 2.29 ERA, only 8.8 Ks per 9, which might sound like it's on the low side, but again, he's another one of these pitchers getting weak contact. Zach Gallen had a tough year. A lot of it was giving up home runs and then just hitters making good contact off of him. But like I showed before, his BABIP against wasn't all that super high. So Gallen may just be in decline, and it does show that he's lost half a star on his overall end potential. Will Vest did not quite have the solid year that he had last year, but we're still happy to stick with him. Troy Taylor came up from the minors at the end of the year and pitched very well for us. Trent Harris was fairly solid, if a little on the weak side. Manuel Rodriguez went through a bit of a slump, gave up a lot of runs, especially toward the end, but he was relatively solid as well. We got a hold of Jordan Hicks partway through the season, and through 172 innings, I don't think those were all for us, obviously, but he had a reasonably solid year, giving up quite a few walks. In fact, it looks like he led us in walks, which, isn't exactly what you want to see, but still not too terrible. Tanner Scott, he fell off quite a bit, at least in his ratings, lost some velo and took on a middle relief role and was fantastic. So, weird journey for Tanner Scott, but it did clear Emmanuel Clase to be the definite closer for our team. And Grayson Rodriguez, in his second full season, just put up a really solid year. I mean, that's just a good pitching season. Gave up a few too many home runs. He could stand to strike out just a few more batters, but overall, nice performance from him. David Peterson came on and put up a 3.62 ERA, good strikeout numbers, slightly high on the walks, good on the home runs, and hitters weren't making too terribly much contact against him. And as far as walks given up, Jordan Hicks was a little wild, David Peterson was just a little wild, but nothing too bad there. Really another just pitching centric year for us, even though our hitters did hang in there and put up some good numbers. But I think mainly it was the strength of our pitching that saw us through yet again. If we move over to the MLB statistics, Kyle Schwarber puts up 49 home runs. Good for Kyle Schwarber. Corbin Carroll wins the batting title for Arizona. And would it be Stevenson with the AL title? Looks like it. Ketel Marte with a surprising 136 RBIs at age 32. Nice job. Corbin Carroll leading in on base. I'm just going to assume Juan Soto led in walks, although Tristan Casas almost caught him this year. Pretty cool. Looking at win probability added is an interesting statistic. Ellie De La Cruz took that home. If we go up here to batter war, it was Ellie, then Corbin Carroll, and then Pete Crow Armstrong. Nice job. 55 doubles for Roman Anthony, a guy who actually qualifies for our team and who I've been trying to get, but he has developed so much that it's just out of reach. He's a superstar, and he's probably going to be with Boston for some time to come. And you can take a look at that. Griffin Conine made the struck out too much list, but again, he played okay. He put up a lot of home runs. I think he earned his keep. Brenton Doyle stole 39 bases. Chandler Simpson takes it down with 54. On the pitching side, yeah, so Skubal, if he had just had maybe like 10, 15 more innings, would have taken this trophy down. Instead, Logan Webb takes fourth place at 3.15. Reese Olson with a 2.96. Logan Webb with 18 wins. Clase, 46 saves, came in second to Tyler Holton. Pitcher war, it's looking like Logan Webb is up there on the leaderboard. Not a lot of complete games being pitched this year. Paul Skeens led in strikeouts. Kodai Senga did very well himself, although he did only have a 4.51 ERA, but lots of strikeouts. Home runs against, I'm glad we're not showing up there. Very nice. Logan Webb with 21 quality starts to Reese Olson's 22. And there you have it. Let's take a look at our team statistics. So the very first thing I want to check is the fielding. How do we do? I feel like we were just a little better than last year, but we weren't. Was Griffin Conine really that bad? We'll have to dig into that just a little bit. That is rather unfortunate. A little better fielding would have probably yielded us 100 wins this year. So we go into some of the offensive categories. Last year we were almost dead last in doubles. We are again. Somehow we're pretty high in triples, which is very interesting. In home runs, I'm trying to spot us. Oh, way up at the top, 254. Nice. Only the Braves really crushed it. Total runs scored. We are in the running here. Walks taken. We had some good plate discipline this year, which compared to last year, a big, big improvement. I think focusing on that in the development lab was a good idea. Fourth in strikeouts, and not as many stolen bases this year as a team. 162 was respectable. Okay batting average, honestly, should have been better, I think, but that's okay. And then for on-base percentage, so you can tell with our on-base percentage and our slugging of 448, we're not going to have the greatest OPS, but better showing than last year. And in our pitching stats, runs given up, this is where we shined last year, and it's where we shined again. Home runs against, we were the very best. Walks given up, pretty solid. Strikeouts, kind of more middle of the pack in strikeouts. Our whip was respectable. Batting average against, very good. And one of the only two teams with a team ERA under 4. And fielding independent because our defense was kind of bad. We had the best FIP minus. So like I said, the pitching did carry us, even though our hitting was somewhat solid. This was a far superior year to last year. So that's interesting. If we look at our team finances, we drew 3.3 million fans. New York, of course, drew the most. I believe we were 4th in attendance this year. But for a below-average fan loyalty in an average market, that is tremendous. You cannot ask for anything better than that. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this wild card series against New York. Grayson Rodriguez is taking the mound against Rodon. And if we look at their team, I mean, they got Judge, they got Bellinger. They've got a lot of solid guys. They look a heck of a lot like we do. Weaker pitching staff, again, just like last year. So hopefully our pitching can carry us through. And we're going to go ahead and sim game 1 right now. And a heartbreaking loss at home. Actually, they got out to an early lead, and we just couldn't catch up. Zach Geloff did hit a 3-run home run in the 4th. Good for him. But Rodriguez got kicked around. So did Tanner Scott and Manny Rodriguez, too. So, yeah, tough game for the B-holes. And this is it. Let's see who's pitching. Is Skubal ready? Skubal is ready. So that's nice. Let's hope we can keep our season alive. We need that playoff revenue, and we really need to win the World Series at some point. Whew, a nail-biter, 9-8. In the bottom of the 8th run, Tristan Casas hit what ended up being the game-winning homer against Devin Williams. Homers by Schmidt and Doyle as well. Triple by Nootbaar. And Skubal got kicked around too, as did Edward Bizardo. So everyone's being tested right now. I want to go back to my roster and see how Machado's doing. So an uncertain return date. So I'm not sure exactly how or if we're going to get him back for the playoffs. I really hope we do. And Game 3 against the Yankees. Again, let's look at who's pitching. And that is going to be the capable David Peterson. So we are relying on you, my friend. We're up against Brandon Woodruff, who is certainly our equal. Let's see if we can pull it off. And we do, and Machado is eligible to come off of the IL. A 6-3 victory, putting a smile on everyone's face in Baltimore. Peterson went 6.2 with 1 run, 2 hits, 9 Ks, 3 walks. And Tanner Scott and Emmanuel Clase shut it down. What a job. Zach Geloff came in again. A home run for him and a home run for Casas, who was named the MVP of the series. So, beautiful job. We are going to finish up today and see what our schedule is going to look like. We are already, after just 1 day off, playing Tampa Bay in a best-of-5. And with Manny Machado back from the injured list, we have moved Zach Geloff down into a more supporting role. And we've also sent Nathan Lukes off of the playoff roster. Trey Sweeney and Jorge Mateo, we hope, are going to keep the outfield on lockdown. And as we head into this series against Tampa Bay, let's take a quick look at them. We're facing Taj Bradley, fortunately not starting with Shane McClanahan. But they've got a very solid team as well. They've just got some weakness in the outfield. And our pitching, again, is significantly better than theirs. So while Tampa Bay did get the better of us during the regular season, I do expect that we have a better than 50% chance of taking this series down. So we'll take a peek at our pitching order. It's going to be Logan Webb, probably Skubal next, and then Grayson Rodriguez. So we have got 3 dynamite pitchers coming up. And let's go ahead and start simming. And we begin with a 2-4 loss. Bradley, 6.1 innings, 1 earned run. I mean, 7 Ks. He pitched a great game. Logan Webb didn't pitch too bad. Manuel Rodriguez in relief was nothing special. We did have 2 home runs, but overall didn't quite get enough offense going when it counted. And we have an important message. Yeah, I don't care about AFL opening day. Quit tricking me. Okay, game 2. At Tampa Bay, this is a must-win, and we take it down. So in the top of the 11th, Machado hit a solo shot, and then Brenton Doyle hit a 3-run shot. A lot of action in extra innings. We take down Shane McClanahan, Grayson Rodriguez, with a solid, if not super good performance. Clase, great in relief. Bizardo shut it down at the end. And Jackson Holliday got in on the home run action himself. So 1-1. And yeah, we got some... Oh, Hechavarria decided to retire. That is really good news for my budget. And it looks like DJ LeMahieu retiring as well. And we are back up to the top of the order. It's going to be Skubal, but then it's going to jump down to Peterson. So lefties twice in a row. Just out of curiosity, I just want to see how many lefties are on their team. Yeah, well, it's hard to say exactly what, if all those players are going to be on the field, but they do have a few lefties. Shouldn't make a big difference either way. Okay, here we go. Game 3, absolutely pivotal here at Baltimore. And And we lose again. And we're one game away from being shown the exit. Skubal did all he could. I mean, 7.1 innings, 2 runs, 11 Ks. What a game he pitched. But Drew Rasmussen and Mr. Lucas and Robert, not Ranger Suarez, were just a little too much for us today. That is too bad. David Peterson up next. His future, or rather, our future, is in his hands. And he's going to be pitching against one Casey Mize. Pretty fair matchup. And let's cross our fingers. And a 3-0 shutout going back the other way. Conine, Doyle, both with solo home runs. And in fact, Machado had one too. So 3 solo home runs were the only runs scored in the game. David Peterson, 7.2 innings, 3 hits, only 4 Ks, so we played good defense. And Clase with the clutch save. Very, very nice. And so it's all going to come down to Logan Webb working his magic against Taj Bradley. Whew, who is admittedly a monster out there, isn't he? Okay. Important message. This time I'm going to try to remember to actually scout these guys in October, so don't let me forget that. And onward. Let's cross our fingers again and let's get it done. Oh! And this time we go out in the division series. Tampa Bay beat us in the regular season, squeaked by us. They squeaked by us here. Let's see, when was this game actually over? Yeah, we were behind all game, so it was probably a little anticlimactic for our players out there. And why does our former teammate have to play so well against us? What a year he had. My. Okay. So that is the end of the Baltimore Beeholes season. We made the playoffs 2 years in a row. I mean, that's pretty good. I can't complain too terribly much. I do want to see how much playoff revenue we picked up. Let's say year to date. Yeah, only about 13 million. I mean, it's not going to kill us, but I was counting on having just a little more money next year, but we shall see. And I'm going to pause the sim here, and we're going to come back, watch the rest of the World Series, and finish off this season. And it looks like the Braves and the Marlins, the Dodgers and the Reds, both tied up. Detroit and Tampa Bay advancing to their respective league championship series. Braves and the Reds, they both had 99 wins this year, so it makes sense that they would both be in the league championship series. Let's see what happens in the LCS. Tampa Bay winning a game. Cincinnati and Detroit winning. And everything everywhere is tied up 1-1. Tampa Bay takes a 2-1 lead over the Tigers. Cincinnati pulls ahead of the Braves, and the Tigers and the Rays are tied up 2 games apiece. Tampa Bay victorious today. Cincinnati Reds victorious. So 3-2 over the Braves, who should be highly favored, I think. They've got everybody. Tampa Bay moving on to the World Series. And the Atlanta Braves have tied it up 3-3. Everybody's sweating. And it's going to be the Braves and the Rays. What an interesting World Series. Let's check our email super quick, make sure nothing wild happened. KBO postings. Not a pitcher I particularly care about. And it looks like Tyler Stevenson has signed. I want to see what his contract is with the Rays. Woo! Man is getting paid. Good for him. Okay, back to the playoff coverage. And the saves get longer and longer. Atlanta Braves pull out a 1-0 lead, 2-0. And Tampa Bay looking to come back. Yeah, they've tied it up at 2-2. And they've gone ahead 3-2. How very interesting. All right, let's see it. Tampa Bay Rays, your 2026 World Series champions. They were a little scrappy. They were a little underdoggy. They had another shortstop that I've been wanting to get my hands on. Well, congrats to the Tampa Bay Rays. Let's see what we found in Venezuela. Not a whole heck of a lot. So interesting. Ooh, Albies goes down right at the end with a massive injury. 8 months. Ooh. Tough day for Albies. So, we will collect ourselves. We will brush it off. And we will make a plan for this coming year. And we'll hit that button, start the off season in the next episode. So thank you everybody for watching again. It's been a blast. I'm sorry we didn't take it home this year. I thought this was maybe our best chance at it. But if we're able to retain enough players, we should have just as good a chance next year. And I will see you in the next one. So long and take care.